In 1843, the British merchant ship Washington, with a miscellaneous cargo for the American market, headed for port at New York City. The Atlantic Passage was without mishap except for one thing. The ship's cow had gone dry and was troubled now and then with a cough. So the skipper had one of the hands lead Bossy off the boat and try to sell her to the Peter Dunn farm nearby. Dunn gladly bought the bargain cow to increase his dairy herd. Neither the buyer nor seller realized it, but wide recognition of the value of veterinary services to the health and economic welfare of the entire nation would be stimulated by the purchase of this cow, for she had contagious pleuropneumonia. In the next 2 decades, the disease spread through cattle herds in 9 eastern states and was making inroads into 3 in the Midwest. To protect the livestock industry from the loss of declining foreign markets due to the ravages of this and other animal diseases, something had to be done. The national government was asked to coordinate state efforts and assume leadership in a united program. In May 1884, the Congress established the Bureau of Animal Industry to prevent the exportation of diseased cattle and to provide means for the suppression and extirpation of pleuropneumonia and other contagious diseases among domestic animals. Procedures developed in that first eradication program, successfully completed in 5 years, are still being used today. The early federal men set a pattern of full cooperation with local and state veterinarians that has led veterinary medicine to its present importance. As the country and its livestock population increased over a growing nation, more and more veterinarians were employed to find causes of disease outbreaks. Equally important was the discovery of methods of treating, controlling, and eradicating disease, and administering various regulations to protect and improve the livestock industry. 9/10 of the veterinarians employed by the United States Department of Agriculture are serving at stations throughout the nation. In these posts, performing duties in which they are specialists, they earn respect for their integrity, accomplishments, and leadership. Some are in territorial possessions and in other countries, but they all work together in collaboration with state, county, and municipal officials to improve and guard the health of livestock and ensure an abundant supply of wholesale food of animal origin. You will find the federal veterinarians at our borders watching to see that no foreign livestock or product that might transmit disease enter the country to threaten the health of our herds and flocks. At seaports, their inspectors board ship to see that meat and garbage is safely handled. And at airports, similar inspection is given to airplanes, particularly those transporting domestic animals or animal products. Trucks and automobiles crossing land borders are also checked. And suspected animals are placed in quarantine. Others are dipped to rid them of disease-transmitting parasites. Veterinarians will be found at land points checking proper facilities for the feed, water, and rest of animals in interstate commerce. And inspecting animals in concentration points such as stockyards and feedlots to watch for evidence of communicable diseases that could quickly spread to threaten the nation's meat, milk, and egg supply. Federal veterinarians supervise the work of many inspectors in the Meat Inspection Service of Agriculture, who wear with pride their badge of service. These veterinarians become experts in pathology and guard our meat supply. They see that it comes from healthy animals and is prepared under sanitary conditions. The familiar purple stamp, U.S. inspected and passed, placed on clean, wholesome meat and meat products approved by this service, has the respect and appreciation of millions of Americans. Veterinarians in meat inspection are constantly alert to discover communicable diseases of animals through antemortem and postmortem inspection. They report immediately to the proper state or federal authorities so that prompt steps may be taken to control or eradicate all discoveries of communicable disease. And they watch the preparation and labeling of meat and meat products to see that it conforms to proper standards. Federal veterinarians are playing an important role in the steady development of the poultry inspection service. Antemortem inspection gives assurance that only healthy birds are supplied for meat. Postmortem evisceration examination by trained inspectors, who also insist on thorough sanitation measures, guards against disease and contamination. In 1957, Congress recognized the importance of this public service and passed the Poultry Products Inspection Act, making inspection of poultry mandatory, much the same as for red meat. The poultry industry has grown very rapidly, now representing the third largest source of farm income. It also has expanded its processing facilities to handle a tremendous volume of poultry products prepared for the family table. Veterinary medicine, too, has increased its attention to disease prevention and expanded its research and control activities in the poultry field. Together with its part in the mandatory inspection of poultry and poultry products, the veterinary medical profession is now serving the poultry industry in a role similar to that played in the development and protection of a sound livestock industry. Department veterinarians at Beltsville, Maryland, and other laboratories conduct research into the identification, cause, prevention, and treatment of diseases and parasites affecting livestock, and have made many valuable contributions to veterinary medicine. Multiple and varied tests, experiments, and studies are made of bacterial, parasitic, mycotic, and virus diseases. For instance, phenothiazine, a drug used to keep sheep free from intestinal parasites, was developed, tested, and proved successful by veterinary scientists of the United States Department of Agriculture. In the huge animal disease laboratory on Plum Island off Long Island, New York, the staff of veterinary scientists is working constantly to learn more about viruses, particularly a foot and mouth disease, that create havoc when they attack livestock. This laboratory is one of the world's largest and reflects the importance of the veterinarian in protecting America's domestic animals and their meat and other products from the ravages of foreign diseases. Another large modern laboratory at Ames, Iowa, conducts research on animal diseases and renders laboratory service for regulatory programs. Meanwhile, at Beltsville, Maryland headquarters in the Animal Disease and Parasite Laboratory, research continues on parasitology and infectious diseases of livestock. As in that first pleuropneumonia program, control and eradication programs today require the best skills and attention of all veterinarians, local, state, and those in government services. Should foreign diseases penetrate our first line of defense, or outbreaks of contagious diseases spread within our borders, action must be swift, sure, and well organized. From the practicing veterinarian who provides veterinary services to the livestock grower, to the meat and poultry inspector umpires who examine many millions of animals and birds and know their condition, to the state and federal veterinarians who join the fight, to the United States Department of Agriculture staff veterinarians in Washington, education, training, experience, and united effort pay dividends. Dividends payable in dollars and cents to the nation's economy. Modern swift-moving means of transportation unwittingly contributes to the spread of diseases across state lines and adds to the control problem. Veterinarians in agriculture must keep abreast of latest scientific developments, as in the case of atomic energy, now being used as a modern weapon for the control and eradication of animal disease. It has been successfully used to fight the screwworm. Reproduction of screwworm flies is prevented through release of sexually sterile males to mate with native females. This is an up-to-date approach to animal disease problems. And promises to aid in preventing large losses of livestock. The federal veterinarian finds himself in the role of an educator in some phases of agriculture's continuing battle against enemies of livestock and poultry. In long-term programs to control and eventually eradicate diseases, he may explain methods, procedure, and campaign plans to state livestock leaders, veterinary groups, livestock growers, public health officials, and municipal, county, and state committees. Or in cases where legislative action is necessary, the veterinarian in federal service may render advice and help committees to understand the problems involved. In whatever field of endeavor, in the United States, its possessions, or in overseas countries, the U.S. Department of Agriculture veterinarian serves his country. He is stimulated and encouraged by the heritage of achievements of his predecessors. Among many accomplishments, these pioneers discovered the transmission of disease by intermediate parasitic hosts, developed anti-hog cholera serum, a remedy for human hookworm infection, a brucellosis vaccine, and a rapid blood test for detecting pylorium disease in poultry. They helped wipe out pleuropneumonia, durine, glanders, and cattle tick fever, assisted in bringing tuberculosis in livestock under control, and won several battles with outbreaks of foot and mouth disease and vesicular exanthema. Their modern successors, serving the livestock and poultry industry and the public, and working in harmony with state and local veterinarians, aid in earning consumer confidence and assuring a constant market at home and abroad for meat, milk, and poultry products. But the challenge of the atomic age is here. Today, the veterinarian, established in agriculture, and those who choose this career, keep step with technology and the continuing advance of veterinary medicine. They are men with a future.